Well, hi.
What is going on?
Ryan's back. Hi, everybody. I'm Brandon. I love Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Brian. I like Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Dan. I despise Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Ryan, and it's very likely I forgot how to do all of this. And this is the Texas
Oh, you
Hallmark
just did.
Podcast.
You did forget it. Forgot everything. No decorum.
Oh my God.
Brandon and friends host this podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Lots to get
I gotta
to.
be
Lots
honest,
to get
in
to.
over 1,000 episodes, 6 years, no one has ever railroaded the and this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast until Ryan Pappolla just now. After going full Blair Witch with
I'm
his
the
camera,
captain now.
He decides he's just going to say the title of the show like he owns the place.
Well, here's the thing. I'm always on that half-second delay, so I just naturally assumed it was going to be
Well, you
there.
didn't
by
give
the
us
time
time
I
to
started.
even get close to being ready for it.
That's how we get
It
you.
was on me. You want to
No,
start over?
no,
Start
no,
over?
that
we
would
got to
be
reset
fun.
the clock.
Yeah, the whole
The
thing.
intro clock.
What's the intro clock?
Yeah, the number of times without incident.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
right.
we
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah, of course.
That's sacred. Lots to get to, of course. The folks know you, Ryan, from this year and all the things you joined us for.
From the bump.
Obviously, from the bump. We're not going to talk about it. The bump
Fast
on
Fridays.
Yes.
From The Way Home.
and from Ride. So a couple things to
Mostly
get out of the
from
way.
Ride.
One, the Way Home coming back in January, which means Ryan will also be coming back. I believe it's January 21st is that
And
premiere.
They've already
which is
released
big
the
fun.
trailer for
Oh,
season
really?
2, and I've avoided
Oh, really?
it.
Yeah, you got
Well,
it.
I saw last night they started a commercial where it's like
Well-
this January, and you see her like her head like pop up, like the daughter's head, and then like I don't know if it was new footage or if it was old footage.
We would
but they have commercials out
We'd
there.
hate to go into season 2 knowing it's a time travel show.
No,
so,
no, keep in the dark.
Would hurt the quality.
Well,
of the
we don't wanna
program.
change
Our
anything.
No
program.
spoilers.
Yeah.
I do want to ask you this, right? I understanding that Ride getting canceled did put people out of work, and we never want that. We want people to work, and we want them to make an honest living. And with the understanding and feeling that we hope everyone on that show has already found work, like
100%.
assuming they've all found another job already. What was your first feeling when you heard Ride was canceled?
That 95-second long question doesn't seem like a fair setup for me to say anything productive here. How about this, Dan? I was really bummed that you, Brandon, and I didn't have a logical next step after 10 more weeks after The Way Home. How
You
about
would
that?
rather do
How
that
about
than Force Fridays and the Star Wars movies, or
that's the first time I'm hearing
Marvelous
that.
Weekend, or whatever we're going to call it with Marvel, or
Marvelous Monday.
Platform Friday and 3/4. I don't know, with something like some sort of like you would rather do Ride season 2 than have another series to watch like we've been talking about.
My first real thought was what they did to the parts. Like all the parts, like as a production crew, like what did they do with all of those?
Yeah.
But yeah, hope everyone lands.
I
on
do
their feet
too, but I
quickly.
was thrilled. Thanks, Ryan.
What if we review episodes of The Bump after they air?
There you go.
Thursday
afternoons, yeah.
We could.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Obviously, Let's Pot a Parade is constantly being, brainstormed.
We're
workshopping.
anybody real-
live streaming a parade.
We are live streaming a parade this Saturday, 6 p.m.
in
Eastern
2
Standard
days.
Time.
That's right. And Ryan was invited.
We
and
invited
said,
him.
No, I won't do it.
That's a gross mischaracterization. If I had not been on vacation this coming weekend, genuinely, Alyssa and I looked at each other. We said we would have been there in a heartbeat.
But
Just bad
think
timing.
about what is this vacation?
Vacation.
What is this vacation?
Nashville.
What are you doing?
Going to Nashville, Tennessee for a good chunk of days.
a hop, skip, and a jump, bro.
You're 5 hours away.
Like you can't be leading the parade on this idea, and then when the opportunity presents itself, be like, no, I can't.
Brian, what a fun play on
Thank
words
you.
there.
Thank you. I
leading
thought
the
that was
parade
pretty
on
good.
this
Thank you.
side. Yeah, that was very good. I'll talk with the boss. I don't think it's gonna happen, but
if you could put odds on it, like, would you give it like a
You could
minus?
parlay it.
Is it a minus 500? You think?
No. Maybe turn that
plus
minus
500.
to a
I'm
plus.
sorry, a plus 500. Yes.
Yeah, I would put a buck on plus 500.
I like that. I'll put a buck on that too.
But I do want just to pull the curtain back for anyone listening who is invested in Let's Pot a Parade as an idea. Gets talked about more than anyone will have ever any knowledge of behind the scenes.
And on Thanksgiving Day, we did a Facebook thread of a parade.
That's right.
You on the Double Decker Facebook group. Of course, you can join us anytime you want to. RedRoadPlus.com. You did a great job. I was kind of in and out as I could, but giving us the thoughts, the rundown on the 2023 Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. For people that missed it, maybe aren't a part of the group, just a brief overview of your thoughts on this year's parade.
Al Roker looked at Keenan and Kel from 40 yards away and just kept screaming, "We are dudes." And it maybe was the greatest moment of my life. It was magical. He wouldn't stop screaming, "We are dudes." I'm still so tickled about it. It was a fun time. I will say the odds at that thread in the group having over 400 replies was plus 35,000. So someone became very rich on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and if they had parlayed it with you guys coming to Greenville, who knows?
Oh my God! Listen, I from what I saw, my initial thoughts are obviously Al Roker. I'm just happy he's back. You know, there were a couple years there where he couldn't make it, and I still haven't forgiven.
Why did they start it so early this year?
I think money.
Dan, genuinely, the first 30 minutes, the parade's always 3 hours, it was 3.5. The first 30 minutes were just Hoda Kotb on a turkey. And not even like Mario Lopez last year. Mario Lopez was at the
with his daughter, right?
Yeah, Hoda Kotb's just on the float, and she's like, New York is beautiful this time of year. That was all we did for the first 30 minutes. It was. But those ads were.
We got a drone. We got a drone tour of New York City, which was nice.
At one point, Josh Gad had a bunch of bits they wanted him to do, but clearly didn't rehearse. So he was just reading his bits off his note card in his hand.
Oh my God!
He still did great.
It was.
He still did great.
It was.
I feel like we could have potted this. Yeah.
Still can.
We're dudes.
We're dudes. Ryan Brandan, we are dudes.
I mean, he's not wrong because I'm a dude.
Have you seen the new Good Burger?
I started it, but I haven't finished it.
You started Good. You couldn't commit the full 85 minutes to Good Burger 2.
My wife fell asleep. I said, I'm gonna watch this movie.
Another great sign.
I'm gonna watch. No, she didn't. She doesn't have any desire to watch Good Burger 2. So she fell asleep early, and I was like, I'll give it a go. And then I also fell asleep. So.
Always a great sign.
I'm going to watch it on the plane to go.
Oh, boy. Here we are. Let's pot a parade. Let's talk about Holiday Road, Take Me Home. Originally aired on November 24th, 2023, and it went a little something like this. The movie kicks off with Maya. Yeah, we'll go with Maya. Can't be Maya, right?
Hey, maybe it is.
Maya is a TikToker. Did I say that right?
Yeah, sure.
TikToker, I believe.
What would you say? Well, you're a Twitcher, right? Ryan, what are they TikTokers?
I believe you're a TikToker.
Okay. And you're
I don't even know what the alternative would be.
You're right. Are you a Twitcher? Is that what you do?
I believe I'm a Twitch streamer.
Twitch streamer. Got it. Cool.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, this is why Twitch isn't going anywhere.
That's exactly right. They got TikToker. You're over there with Twitch streamer. Anyway, she is TikToking herself from the airport. She's frustrated about her flight being delayed to Denver, probably canceled because everything else is getting canceled. She's trying to get to Denver. So is a woman named Ember, a grumpy Santa-looking fella named Dusty. Mother and son duo, Trisha and Ben. A couple named Ling and Baba. And Dana, who is... what's that?
Baba?
Dano?
Dana. Someone just correct me. Whatever. Why would we even try?
Baba and Dano?
Dana.
I don't think any of
Did you get
names.
one name right?
I don't think any name is
Did you
right.
get any of those names right?
Definitely Dusty.
Yeah,
Dusty is right.
They decide that they are going to try to all get a rental van together and go to Denver after the flight gets canceled. They go to the rental car station. They have to wait for Clay. Clay is another fella trying to get his way to Denver. And this is bad news because Dana just gave Clay the business while waiting in line for coffee. Turns out...
I don't think that's what happened.
The beautiful golden arches.
I don't think that's what happened at all.
There was the business. Mutual. There were mutual businesses given.
Like LLCs registered?
Turns out Clay gets a 15-passenger van for himself, and that's the last ride on the lot. When Dana sees him driving off, she hops in front of the van. And asks if giving him the business again, and asks if they can all ride together. He agrees, and they do a little decorating of the interior because Christmas, and they hit the open road.
You mean the exterior
and the interior.
And the interior.
But they do the outside, right? First, they do the stickers on
right,
the front.
but the interior is the really beautiful part.
All right,
Gave
cool.
that van the business.
Anyone can sticker. Clay tells everybody that they should download his dating app. And so they do, and they start answering a bunch of questions. They all get to answer, opening up to one another. Maya is videoing all of their answers without their consent, really videoing anything that anybody
she
says.
Ask them all their consent when they get
She
in.
doesn't ask if she can record a panic attack, but whatever.
Yeah.
But whatever, whatever. It's whatever. They all start answering, and the videos are going great. Everybody's talking about them on TikTok. They have a karaoke party, and Ember does an amazing rendition of Amazing Grace. Everyone cries, including Dusty. Dusty is losing his mind at this rendition of Amazing Grace. They don't have service, so they have to use a paper map. Can you believe this? And they end up getting lost and turn around. Paper maps, what can you do? The van breaks down in a Christmas-loving town, giving Clay and Dana time to hang out, bond, talk about love and stuff. The van won't be fixed until after Christmas, so Maya puts the call out to her followers for help. While they wait, they decide they're going to compete in the Elf Games. It's going great until Dana is just clearly struggling. She's on the ground. She opens up to Clay about how she was born with a bum heart. Her words, not mine. I would never. She lives every day like it's her last, because it might be. Again, her words. It sounds like I'm making a joke of it. I'm not. Maya gets canceled for freaking out on people and ripping a box out of their hands. She learns not to care what everybody thinks, because why do that when you don't have to? They finally make it to Denver. Clay drops them off one by one. Up first is Ling and Baba, and apparently Ling has planned a surprise reunion between the father and son. They weren't happy at first, but they get over it pretty quickly, and they hug, and the whole van is watching. They're loving it. Why not? Dana and Ben are next, and this is a big one because Ben is adopted and is going to be meeting his birth mother. Dana's been nervous about this. Not Dana, the other woman, whatever. And it's exciting. There's too many characters. I'm not used to this. There's too many characters.
Whatever, I believe, is what Brandon said.
There's too many characters. I can't do this. I'm used to doing one thing. You can't do another.
Giving him the business.
Anyway, that goes well too. Ember just deuces out early and steals all of Dusty's cash that he has in his bag.
In a bag.
So that's
his business.
And the credits roll, and that, my friends, was Holiday Road.
Maya is next, and she is going to try to record a video, but she's like, I can't do this in front of you. I'll get too emotional. Dusty is dropped off, and he goes to the cemetery to meet with his daughter, who has passed away. And it's at this point that Ember shows up and with her daughter is like, hey, sorry, I don't know what came over me. Here's all your money back. Dusty says, you'd be doing me a bigger favor if you take the money. And she's like, okay. Clay then drops Dana off to go skiing, and Clay immediately regrets it. And he helicopters his way up to her and is like, hey, I'm ready to take a leap with you. And she's like, what? And then she's like, just kidding, I'm totally into that. Jumps into his arms, almost straddle sesh, but this is a standing straddle sesh.
Straddle sesh.
It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. A video is going viral from Maya talking about this amazing family. So they decide to all leave their families and go meet with Maya and have dinner together. Just another Van Clan activity. And that, my friends, was Holiday Road.
Weeds.
Too many
did it.
people. It's too many people.
A lot of people.
It's too many
Yeah,
people.
the other one, who cares?
Whatever.
Whatever.
You were wonderful. If you're listening to this, you are wonderful. I'll learn your name. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back here. Thank the Hallmark. It's too many people. Hey, guys. Welcome back. We're talking about Holiday Road, a movie that has too many people. Let's break this movie down. We're going to start with the hot take. The Holiday Road hot take, presented by. What do you think?
Brian, his name is Brian.
Brian.
Yeah. There's only three of them.
There's too many.
Three of them.
We throw Ryan in the mix. There's too many
It's
people.
Ryan, it's not Ryan. The other one. Whatever.
The other one. This one.
There's too many
next to you.
people.
Whatever.
Brian, whatever. What do you think about this?
We'll go
movie?
with Brian. I appreciate the effort here. This was a lot of people. There was a lot going on, a lot of stories, a lot of emotional stories. And for me, it was pretty good overall. Like, I wasn't really into it until probably halfway through, maybe 3/4 of the way through, when we finally got to know these people a little bit more and they were doing more things together. I wouldn't necessarily want to watch it again. I'm not upset that I saw it. I wanted it to end when Dusty showed up at the cemetery and we found out Annie had passed away, and then we went to commercial, and I was like, that's a perfect ending. Like, everybody went their separate ways. We don't need all the backstory. Very emotional ending. And then they came back for like another, what seemed like 25 minutes.
At least.
It just kept going.
Yeah.
And going. The end, they sort of like ruined what they had for me, from my perspective. And so it was.
So let me get this straight. You didn't really start liking it until halfway through, and then you hated the last 25 minutes.
I didn't hate
So
it. I just didn't need it.
You liked 17 minutes
I
of
liked
this movie.
a good bit. What I liked, I thought they did really good.
Yeah.
I didn't need all. I mean, coming together for dinner is just complete nonsense. We don't need this. We don't need this.
Eating with your community, your found community, is just stupid.
We all came to Colorado.
I don't even know your name. Whatever.
Yeah, with you over there. Whatever. So, well, it was pretty
Can someone
good,
tell me her name?
Yeah, somebody can.
No one
I
here.
believe it's Maya. They had a Maya and a Maya on board.
Oh, you little stinker.
Yeah,
you little
gotcha
stinker
there.
butt.
Brian, what did you think?
Well, Ryan, what'd you
let's
think
go to
of
him.
what'd you think about
Ryan
this?
is here. He did just steal the title, so go ahead.
We can start over if you guys want. Brian liked this. The chunk of that Brian liked was less than an episode of Just Shoot Me. 17, like it was.
Could have chosen any sitcom from the 90s. You went with Just Shoot Me. I love it. Not upset about it.
So I off rep to a little inside baseball. I watched this right after the Browns, my Cleveland Browns, lost to the Denver Broncos. So the fact that they said Denver about 45 times in the first 5 minutes of this movie wasn't for me. It seemed like for me that the creative team had like a wheel with a bunch of serious issues on it, and they just kept spinning that wheel until the duration of the film was over. I give them credit for the attempt. I genuinely, not trying to be funny, I thought the idea of throwing 47 people in a van as a premise for a film was really cool. And some of those character moments really worked. But I just thought after a while we were getting really hit over the head. To Brian's point, I didn't care necessarily about a lot of people. To Brand's notes, I didn't necessarily know everybody's names. The leads, what you would call the leads, had zero chemistry. And so Dusty was the man. Ultimately, Brand, this doesn't hold a candle to the JTT Classic, I'll Be Home for Christmas. It was just okay.
Oh, wow.
Getting note from Sheila Calloway in the chat. Trisha is the name.
Trisha is her name. Of
Trisha.
the Holiday Road, whatever, mom.
Trisha's a nice name.
Yeah, it's a great name. I would have liked this movie a whole lot more if I didn't have to cover it, because now I'm stressed. There's too many names. There's too many people, and I don't know what to do with all of them. I will say
Name
this.
them, I think.
I will say this. Dusty is a star. I would take a whole Dusty movie. I have more questions about Dusty than I know what to do with.
Oh my gosh.
What a mystery that man is. But overall, I did enjoy this movie. It's tough. Obviously, when you're trying to give everybody time to have their stories told, some things are going to suffer, such as the relationship. Like none of us buy that. That is a thing that Clay would have done, just based off of what we know about him. And some of the people stuck out a little bit more than others. Dusty, I'm looking at you, bud. But overall, I had a good time, and I'm not against one of these type of movies every year where there's a big supporting cast. We got that with Golden Dragon,
the Golden Dragon
last year. That one I think did it a good bit better than this one. But overall, I had a good time, and I just wish that I didn't have to do the synopsis. I did a real bad job.
I mean, IMDb's got all their names, so.
Who's editing that?
Yeah, that's true.
Just don't know.
We don't know.
Dano?
Yeah. The degree of difficulty here is through the roof. And so you appreciate the attempt of this. The actual, presentation that we get falls flat most of the time. You have a few moments that do work. Most of them involve Dusty, whether or not that's because it's emotional or because it doesn't make sense. We'll get to that later. But then what you have is a very unfortunate situation where you have a Return of the King scenario where you have 30 minutes of endings of people that immediately should have traversed into Denver, gotten out of the van and Ubered to their homes for the sheer efficiency of it. And instead you kind of get this thing where it's like, we got to go and we got to see where all these threads go. So props to the movie makers and the writers and Hallmark for greenlighting this, but you don't have enough time to tell this story. And it felt like it was ending for the last third of it. Some of the character motivations don't make sense, and it's because we don't get to spend enough time with them. So this is going to go higher on my list than a lot of the movies this year, purely because what they try to do is so difficult. But I think right now I have it like 10 or 11. Okay. So not great.
It's time for all the feels where we talk about what in this movie gave us those feels. Brian.
Yeah, when they were playing trivia in the van, that kind of gave that reminded me of the marathon where we spent what feels like half of
Ages.
the marathon
So
playing
long.
lateral thinking games. And it turned out to be the star of the show, I think.
I would disagree wholeheartedly.
It was the best time.
I will say this. If you're on the inside of a window
Right.
and there's snow and you're desperate to open it, but if you do, you could die. I think you need to ask if you're claustrophobic first and foremost.
First
and I did learn that.
Yeah, we learned
But
that
the
one.
rest of that,
we learned
oh my
that lesson
gosh.
hard. It was a hard lesson.
It was a hard lesson to learn.
So that gave me the feels because it was just a good memory.
Yeah. Ryan, what you got? Any feels?
Amber, her cover of Amazing Grace needs to be on there with the Time After Time and Hit Me Baby One More Time covers from The Way Home on the Hallmark covers album. So that was really cool. And Dusty, I was right there with you, man. I was a wreck. I was a wreck.
I love karaoke in general. It's one of my favorite things. And so I thought the two people that did the whole song with the music and the lights, I love that. Like, that made me happy. Give me karaoke any day of the week and twice on Sunday, and also Dusty's a national hero. But also I'd like to do the Elf games. I think
probably do pretty good.
I'm not very active. I try to not run. I try not to walk. Try to roll as often as possible. But I think if elf games were on the line, it might get me into shape. Maybe that's what I need.
Motivational.
Maybe I need the elf games. You know, some people need 5Ks, some people need turkey trot, some people need whatever. I think I need elf game.
Couch to elf
to
game.
couch to elf game. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Dano?
Very rarely does Hallmark give you an emotional moment without explaining why it's emotional. When Ember sings Amazing Grace, it's an amazing rendition, but you don't know why that means a lot to her. You don't find out till way later in the movie that her kid is named Grace. She does not have custody of her kid. She is trying to make right some wrongs from her past. And so what we get when she's singing that song is a very emotional performance where people are moved and we don't know why it's that emotional. That is called cinema. That's what really good filmmakers do. They give you something that moves you, and then you sometimes learn fully the character's motivations, and sometimes you don't because you're not inside their head. And I don't know if I've really ever seen Hallmark do that to this level. So that was really impressive. Like, I got chills listening to that. And I was like, this clearly means a lot to her. Is it because she doesn't sing anymore? Is it because of her family? Is it because of something religious? I don't know, but it's clearly so incredibly, painful and, heart-wrenching to her. And so it translates to all these people in the van. That was awesome. That was really awesome scene. So good for you, Hallmark.
Good for you. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back with the way, what, and the what, the Hallmark here on. You take it to no.
Wait a minute. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Dak,
Whenever
Ryan,
you're ready, Ryan.
Let us know.
it's going to be on here on Deck the Hall.
I felt like that was like having someone come up to customer service. It's gonna
deck the Hallmark.
We're gonna need someone to come over here.
Yeah,
take a
we're
look.
gonna need somebody to deck the Hallmark over.
Guys, we really can start. I feel bad about it. We can.
Let's
start
just see. Let's just keep going and see how it plays out. Let's see how it plays out.
All right.
Her name's
Who's the
Trisha.
next?
Sure is.
Trisha and Maya,
Trisha and Maya.
TikToker, Twitcher,
Uh,
and Baba.
Let's get to the wait what. So we're talking about what in this movie. Just go wait what?
Yeah,
Brian.
Sometimes a digital map is better than a paper map.
Sometimes it is,
There
yeah.
are some cases where just
mostly all of them. Yes, yeah.
And they just went so long. They were committed to the paper map for so long. Like, they had to have passed some Wi-Fi.
The one thing I learned from this movie is that the Southwest has no cell service.
Yeah.
Everyone that lives in the entire Southwest is without cell service.
If you don't download the map before your trip,
that's right.
you're out,
and the good news
is
is you can do that.
you sure can.
You can download the map.
Yeah, that was wild.
and then you'll just have it.
Yeah, for your
It was
whole ride.
so brutal.
Internet access is the rules are use it or lose it, and if you lose it, you can't use it
Losers walk.
ever again.
That's right.
Do walk.
It's a long
Literally.
saying.
So everyone in Idaho, all the way down through
Once they
Colorado,
lose it, they can't get it
they
back.
don't have it anymore. It's gone. See ya. Man,
And I don't like
stuff.
bringing the bearer bad.
You don't like bringing the bearer of bad?
Yeah.
You want to try that again, sports?
Why at this point?
Well, at this point,
I
try.
don't mind bringing the bearer of bad. The other mom, whatever. Maya.
The elf games they seemed mostly to be based on like a fast time, except for they had a bull riding section where
It
like
was very
where
weird.
normally the longest
What are
time
the
would win.
rules?
So like that just didn't seem to fit in a race. And then the sudsy snow can always be an issue, and it's an issue when you're watching on such a nice TV, and also you get these big close-ups on the faces, and you just see the
And when you're watching on
bubbles.
Philo.
Yeah, I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
if you're watching on
Quality
Philo,
is nuts.
Of course.
so the
nuts
suds,
out there.
yeah, it's nuts out there on the Philo TV. So just the suds is just so visible, and so they also had it for the impromptu Christmas dinner, a fully roasted turkey.
They showed up with it plated and uncovered outside in the snow.
Just, hey, I just have this laying around.
Yeah.
Carve
What do
it
you
up,
think?
please, for the table.
Yeah, for
We
the
got it.
table.
We got it. Ryan, what you got?
I'm no expert on Christmas time in Idaho, but I suspect it shouldn't look like Jackson Hole, Wyoming in the middle of July. Like it was like it looked like summer for like they must like whatever. Mileage, Bran, I knew you would love the karaoke scene. Mileage may vary on whether or not that was a good scene or not, but unquestionably a safety hazard.
Oh my gosh, the lights everywhere, the disco ball.
I can't condone that. No, of course not.
Yeah. I mean, that many people in a van, in and of itself, may be breaking some fire codes. The big speech that what's the one of the characters says this in the movie. But it's right before the Elf games start. She's like, you know what makes us different than all these other teams? We just spent 2 days together in a van. Like I don't know if that's really rallying the troops the way that she thought. The scene at Annie's grave was, I agree, the highlight of the film. It was beautifully performed. Dusty's our guy. However, I don't know, Dan. We might have different.
Oh no, there's only one big one. I feel like.
Oh well, no, I have. This is a two-parter for me. My first part is that Amber literally has her kid go play on a bunch of.
Yeah, you got it. Hey, can I go play in the snow? Yeah, don't mind the dead bodies. Just however you want to get moving.
That's how you get haunted, man.
Just play.
That's
tag.
how you get haunted.
Just
like watch a movie.
Snowballs. Just
you can't do that.
It was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Can I go
sick.
play?
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
It was literally sick. Yeah. And then, but my other part, like Alyssa and I are watching this thing, and I might have missed something again. I was upset about football. I had just lost a bunch of money. Did Amber literally get her daughter back by just showing her ex-husband or a judge or whoever that she had this big wad of cash in a bag?
The way I understand that, because I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt, this money, we could spend a tight 30 on this money, and I get the feeling we will spend more time on it. But when it comes to Ember, I believe the deal was she did get to see her child's. She still had visitation rights. And so she got her kid on Christmas Day. I don't think the money had anything to do with it. I think she took the money.
I think she was going to use it
to show
or lose
that
it.
She
use it or lose
like
it.
had made all this money, but her having her kid on Christmas Day was part of the deal. That was the way I understood
when she
it.
wasn't there yet, I think that's when her ex was like, you're a bad mom.
Yes, correct. To finally get to see your kid after a long time and to show that you are a capable, responsible parent, letting your kid play in the snow in a graveyard, maybe not
frolic on graves
at the top of the list.
She's got some work to do.
Shows that she's the fun parent. I mean, like she's looking to win the race. Yeah.
Can I go jump on the dead people like she does? Come on, Mom. Anything else, Ryan?
That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. This is the bump.
Thanks, Fran.
Now, Twitch. Yeah, what up, wrestlers and fans? This is the bump.
Oh, you must watch. That's what I say.
You can check us out on Peacock too, y'all.
Welcome to the bump. Welcome to the bump, wrestlers.
Welcome to the bump.
Wrestlers
bump,
and fans.
Y'all. Bump.
Yeah, just on Twitch. Yeah.
Wrestlers and fans.
Wrestlers and fans.
That's who watches it.
I assume the reason I don't watch the bump is because I assume it's just for wrestlers.
No, it's not.
Fans too.
To keep up on the
fans
news.
Get to watch it too.
And all the drama. The fans too.
Well, according to some, we once were tag team champions.
That's true. That's right.
That is
former wrestlers. That's right.
Lisa played in cemeteries all the time growing up.
Okay.
I don't know what to do with that, Lisa.
Good
we'll
news.
talk about that off air.
What's up, wrestlers and fans?
We talk about the end of this movie lasting an eternity, and it's because these people who are apparently no longer in a hurry are getting out of the van at every stop. You just can't do that. Like if it is Christmas Day, I'm already late. I'm not getting up. I'll say, yo, see you later. Deuces. Love ya. Great. This was so much fun. My butt's not getting up until I get to my house.
But also, just everybody get your luggage and get in an Uber.
Yeah.
Like you're in town. You made it. First stop, everybody get out, get your luggage, get in an Uber. You're all home in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Would have been easy.
Dusty caught on to hashtags pretty quickly. Hashtag old dog, new tricks.
Right.
I love he hasn't understood anything all day, but he's like, I got hashtags down. Hashtag old dog, new tricks. Love that for Dusty and all of his money. Oh man, I'll save it for the what the Hallmark, just money. Last but not least, the kid goes down, has met his mom, and Trisha's obviously there.
Trisha,
and we love Trisha a lot. When he finds out that Maya is live on TikTok, he says, I gotta tell everybody. So he goes into the living room and he proceeds to, in the most uncomfortable way that you can, lean over a couch and hold out your arm like this. You don't know how much longer she's going to be going for, but you're stuck there now, pal. That's why when you're going to show somebody a live video, get comfy and cozy because you don't know how long you're going to be there. You can't lean over abdomen into the top part of the couch. You can't do that for very long. It's not safe. Dan?
The Portland, Oregon airport is as big as our office. It is so tiny. There are maybe 12 flights that are taking off or being delayed at the same time. I thought they were in maybe like some little metropolitan airport, and they were in apparently a giant city's airport, and I couldn't believe that. The kid in this movie gets the paper map out, and he says this line, I never knew there were so many roads. Listen, I know if you're older out there, I know you think that kids are dumb because they use their screen for everything. The thing about maps on a screen is they show all the roads that you would see on a paper map. It's probably more roads. More roads,
I would say, yeah.
Yeah, there's no world where a kid is going to see a paper map and be like, this is higher definition. This shows me all the roads. No.
It's like a map IRL.
Yeah, exactly. There is no world where a guy that looks like Santa Claus carrying 6 figures in cash in a duffel bag and that is not explained can't be mentioned in the Wait What segment. He literally has a white beard. He has a duffel bag with 6 figures of cash in it, and we don't know why. We don't know. It was never explained. We don't have a clue why he's doing that. And then he says the line to Amber. He says, if you take this money, you'll be doing me a bigger favor by taking it than I'm doing for you by giving it. You're a criminal. That's the only way that makes sense, is if you're laundering that money. That is, we don't get any of that. We get none of that information. And I was floored. I was floored by the fact that we got none of that information. It does seem like no one actually wants to get to their family when we get to Denver. We already mentioned that. And then lastly, Dana is her name. Yeah. Dana and Clay's relationship, which was barely there and probably didn't deserve what it got in this movie. She also drives me nuts because she's supposedly the glass half full person and he's the glass half empty person. But yet she never, ever apologizes to him for anything. Like he apologizes nonstop in this movie. And she's never like, yeah, because I did do this, that's why this happened or whatever. There's times when she's wrong and she's like, I'm not going to apologize. I just look at the bright side. And it's like, no, part of being an optimist is being willing to admit when you're wrong. Like, that's kind of part of the deal. And that character drove me nuts all movie. So that's all I got.
It's time for What the Hallmark is, where we wonder what could have been, maybe having some clarity to questions that we still have. Brian, what are you still wondering about?
I'm wondering about Clay's dating app and how successful this thing might be, because it seems like it seemed like he chartered a chopper to meet her up at the top of the mountain.
I believe so. Yes, I believe so.
Just if he's doing real well, like, why not call a helicopter sooner? Like some other mode of transportation. Like, why are we... Yeah. What are we doing?
And can we talk about the missed opportunity
at your disposal?
This whole time?
Can we talk about the missed opportunity to bring in Arnold or an Arnold impersonator to deliver some sort of line about getting back to the chopper?
Yeah, there's a chopper
if
there.
only there was somebody that we knew that would have been perfect for that role. Rig, how are you, buddy?
Did somebody say chopper?
I did say Chopper. Hi, Rig. Merry Christmas.
Hey, Merry Christmas. I've been absent a lot.
You have been absent a lot?
It seems to happen during the holiday season. So I was like, more people listen, and you don't want me around. But
I would never say that.
Take offense to
I
it.
just want to say this.
This is the Deck to Hallmark podcast. If Ryan can say it, I can say it. We can tell you that right now. Welcome to the bump. It isn't about cocaine. It's about wrestling. I promise.
Wrestlers and fans.
Yeah, they both watch.
Rig, no one does Arnold quite like you.
You know my honor's on point.
So it feels wrong to have not brought you in. But yes, act as if you're Arnold telling Warren Christie.
You're telling the Dana.
You're telling
character.
Dana.
I got you. I got it. Everybody close your eyes so you can be there. Just be there in the moment if you could, right? As it gets off the chopper. You ready? You hear the background.
I hear it.
Dana! Get to the chopper!
Yeah. Wow.
He nailed it, man. Oh my gosh, did I? Boy,
It is. It's unbelievable.
I'm out of here.
It's like
I'll catch you on the bumper.
No one asked him. No one asked him to do
Nobody.
anything.
No.
What are we doing here? Ryan?
I just want Ryan.
Rig is actually both a wrestler and a fan. So that's really cool. Yeah.
Both man.
I figured the money would come up from one of you three, so I skipped it. I want more about the Elf Games. I think there's an Elf Games film to be had. I think there's an Elf Games origin story. I think there's an Elf Games training montage to be had with Bran after today's episode. So I'd love more there, and a big wad of cash could maybe help make it happen.
Do it for the vlog. And mine was also the Elf Games.
Okay.
This town is known for it, and I felt like the rules were kind of there at best. The rodeo part, I need more information on how it came to happen, how you can show up and sign up as a traveling band of marauders from out of town, out of nowhere. It seems like you need to sign up weeks in advance.
Doesn't matter.
So I have a lot of questions about the Elf Games. Yeah.
We talked about the money. We talked about how she would be doing him a bigger favor. That seems to imply dirty money. Now, I don't know enough about laundering money. I'm learning, but I don't know enough about it.
We're getting there one day at a time.
But like, if I give somebody,
what do you think this whole thing's been for 6 years?
Right. If I give somebody a stack of dirty money, doesn't that like not do great things for them? Like, isn't that like, if they start seeing that the same person is using dirty money, aren't they going to find her? Aren't they going to track her down? And then what's she going to say? Santa gave it to me in a cemetery on Christmas Day?
I think if she put it all in her bank account, the bank would probably flag it, and then she'd be like, some old man in a cemetery handed me this money. You know what I mean?
There's no good way to handle that.
That's the end of the trail. Like, they don't have anything else.
You know Santa. I was at a cemetery. She was playing on old man Curtis's grave site
with her daughter. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. How about that? Well, there was, I don't know, for my money, could be close.
I think there could have been a fight.
A bit of a tussle, maybe. Only one person could know. It's Vic Webster. It's time for a fighting chance with Vic Webster.
Fighting chance with Vic Webster. A fighting chance with Vic Webster. Was the fighting in the movie? Did someone get hurt? It's a fighting chance with Vic Webster. A fighting chance with Vic Webster. Fighting chance with Vic Webster. Vic Webster.
Well, well, well. Surprise, surprise. This movie actually had some action in it.
A fighting chance with Vic Webster. Vic Webster.
Wow.
Whoa.
How about that?
There you go.
We've been waiting a long time for this one.
Yeah, we have.
We've been waiting a long time for this one. That's exciting.
For sure.
Ryan, thanks so much for joining us, buddy. Let everybody know about how they can bump their way over to what you're doing.
Friends and fans and wrestlers.
So you're just a fan and not a wrestler.
Yeah. If you only check one of those two boxes, you can check out the Bump Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on Peacock and all of WWE's streaming social platforms. And you can catch me potting about the Hollywood Christmas Parade on the CW sometime, in the next 2 weeks.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. Well, join us, everybody, this Saturday for the Greenville Christmas Parade. It's going to be a lot of fun, with or without Ryan. I think we're still going to... I'm just saying, I think we're still going to have a good... That's how good...
We're going to have a good time regardless.
That's how good the parade is all I'm saying. Like, yes, of course, we want Ryan there, but...
Yeah, we're gonna have a fun time regardless.
You guys will crush it.
We're gonna be back tomorrow. I think is it another double tomorrow on Friday, or is it just
Friday,
a single?
double drop?
Just a single.
Is it-
Look,
I think
look
it's
at the
another
calendar.
double?
Season for family and letters to Santa.
It's too many episodes. It's too many episodes, too
What
many
are we
names,
doing?
too many people, too many podcasts. But you can watch them all right here on Philo. Philo.tv/DTH. We'll be back tomorrow with another one. Until then, maybe the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.